Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning. Yes, again, the beautiful reminder that we get to choose. And what is it that we get to choose? We get to choose how we're going to think. We get to choose what things mean. Always remember that. The power in you lies and starts with you choosing your thoughts wisely. Remember, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Everything just is. Nothing is good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so. And it's you who gets to decide the meaning that you give to everything. Think about that. What somebody says, what somebody does, what's happening in your life, what you've done, the outcomes, all of it just is. And when you guide your thoughts to look for the good, to see the good, to feel the good, I got news for you. That's what's going to come to you. So you attract what you're in harmony with. And again, it all starts with how you're going to think. And that's what we've been diving into with every single one of these calls. This is why I'm so repetitive with everything that I share with you. First of all, because I do understand that it's through repetition that it gets embedded within you subconsciously. And remember, what's in you subconsciously is what leads to the outcomes of your life. Well, again, you're the one who gets to decide what's going to stay there or what's going to improve. Remember, your greatest power is your ability to accept, to reject ideas, to originate them. And that right there, if that's the only thing that you get from these calls, oh my gosh, you'll deliver incredible change in your life, but only if you apply it and only if you use it. See, you've got to use this information. Always remember that knowledge is not power. All of the words that are in this book, and this is what we've been studying, it's not power. It's not anything but an organization of words. But see, when it has power is when it's used, it's when it's applied in your life. And that's what we're wanting you to get for you. This is what we're wanting you to shift from being an information collector or information gatherer to an information implementer. That's what's going to deliver the change that you seek. And so, with that being said, I hope that you do use this as if your life depends on it. You know why? Because it does. Now, in terms of this book, this is the Master Key System by Charles Haanel. If you don't have a copy of this book, get a copy of this book. If you want to read along directly with us, page for page, word for word, then get this exact copy. And then from there, underline it, highlight it, take notes, but most importantly, use the information, apply it in your life, because that's what's going to deliver the change. Okay. So also remember that you should also have a goal card with you. The goal card is a beautiful tool. If you don't have a goal card, then reach out to us and we'll share with you how to get your goal cards. And if you don't want to use one of ours, then just use an index card. But these ones are pretty cool. They have a nice, beautiful sleeve that you can put it into, and then you can write it out. Now, it's important though. I need to remind you that you don't manifest what you write on the goal card. You don't manifest what you put on a vision board. You don't even manifest affirmations. What you manifest is how you feel about them. How you feel about them. Feeling is the secret. How you feel, that's where it's at. When you control how you feel, you control your life. And how do you control how you feel? By controlling how you think. And again, that's what Master Your Mind is about. Hence the name Master Your Mind, right? So dive into that and use this big time. All right, so let's go into this, shall we? Let's go into where we are. But before we do that, I got a wonderful, beautiful announcement for you. We do have an event coming up on September 27th called Emergence, and we highly recommend that all of you go and register for that because it's going to be incredible. And you can register for that at elevitality.com. Go ahead and do that right now as we're getting ready to switch over to this because it's going to be really awesome. And then you'll get a taste of the new look that we have, which is pretty cool. Okay. So let's go into this, shall we? Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So here we are on page 351. And we're going to go over this part here, number 23. Okay, 23. And what does Charles Haanel say here? He says that we are in a period of transition is evidenced by the unrest which is everywhere apparent. Now, maybe you're going through that in your life personally. Well, we see it's going along everywhere in society already right now. But I want you to notice how he's pointing out unrest. In other words, there's struggle. Now, the complaint of humanity is as a roll of heaven's artillery, commencing with low and threatening notes and increasing until the sound is sent from cloud to cloud, and the lightning rends the air and the earth. Now, what does he mean by this? It sounds like something poetic and it's mysterious, right? It's like, what the heck is he talking about here? Well, what he's talking about here is that we are living in a period of transition, and the unrest that we see everywhere is evidence of this. Remember, everything is always changing. Nothing ever stays the same. That's the perpetual transmutation of energy. That is a law of the universe. In terms of the movement, it's always moving into form. In terms of that movement, it's either creation or disintegration. Now, this here is happening because of humanity's dissatisfaction. And this dissatisfaction is like lightning or thunder rolling through the sky. And that's how it works. It starts with these low, distant rumbles, just like what's stated here, and growing louder and louder until lightning basically, boom, splits the air. And that unrest signals right here that change is not coming, but is already pressing at the door. See, that's what this is a reference to. This chaos that's happening is happening because of the paradigm shift that is constantly happening. And this is where most people don't get it, which leads to actually a lot of disintegration. See, but when you understand that, when you see that, it helps you to go through it much easier, doesn't it? I mean, really think about that. When you see that, and many of you, for instance, who have been working with us, you've been going through something and you feel the fear. And those of you who have spoken with us as we've went through that with you, we shared with you that that's exactly what was supposed to be happening when you were going through the paradigm shift. Remember, when that chaos is happening, when you're inside, when you're worrying and doubting, it's because you have this conditioning, which is what your subconscious mind is used to reinforcing. It's there, but see, you've invited a new idea into your life, this new version of yourself. And see, your subconscious mind doesn't know which to obey. Why? Because it's there to be loyal to what you've made important. Well, you're making something new important in your life. So with that chaos comes, I got news for you, this different frequency, this XY vibration. And that XY vibration causes a lot of discomfort. And because most people don't understand it, what do? They hit the wall, they go back to more of the same. But see, not you if you're working with us. And that's what we're wanting you to see. Now let's go further. The sentries who patrol the most advanced outposts of the industrial, political, and religious world are calling anxiously to each other. What of the night? He asks. The danger and insecurity of the position they occupy and attempt to hold is becoming apparent every hour. The dawn of a new era necessarily declares that the existing order of things can not much longer be. Now, again, this seems mysterious when you're reading this. Well, what the heck is he talking about here? What does he mean by the dawn of a new era necessarily declares that the existing order of things cannot much longer be? Well, what he's referring to is that the old systems, I have news for you, they don't last. Remember, change is always happening. It's the learners who inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped for a world that no longer exists. See, this change, and by the way, many of you see this change, don't you? I mean, it's not happening a little, it's happening a lot. But see, if you don't pay attention to it and understand that that's a cycle of life, and that's something that's embedded within us, and that's something to actually embrace and conform to. See, when you do look at it that way, it makes things a lot easier. And guess what? Those who do learn and have an open mind and adapt to the changes, they're the ones who inherit the earth. But now, again, let's go back to this. When you see all of this happening, and it's very clear that it's happening, all of you nod your heads. Yes, it's very clear that this is happening. See, I want you to notice the difference between those who are fighting that existing reality versus those who are consenting to the new model to adapt to these changes are. The feeling is much different inside. Have you noticed that with yourself? Think about that. And that's what you've got to lock into for you yourself. Remember, change is always happening. Nothing ever stays the same. Those people who say, I like things just as they are and I want to keep things just as they are, don't understand the laws of the universe. They're actually working against the laws of nature. Nothing ever stays the same. Now, let's move further. The issue between the old regime and the new, the crux of the social problem, is entirely a question of conviction in the minds of the people as to the nature of the universe. When they realize that the transcendent force of spirit or mind of the cosmos is within each individual, it's in you, it's in me, it will be possible to frame laws that shall consider the liberties and rights of the many instead of the privileges of the few. Now, this right here is something that we need to dive into. But before we dive into it, to help you to understand it, how to use it in your life, for those of you who are watching this live stream and would love to go deeper into this, then do yourself a favor and go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind so you can be a part of this continually and watch the replays, because all of this is recorded, so that you can use it in your life. You'll thank yourself later.